What are you doing in my bed?
The bedroom lights flicked on, and the billionaire stopped breathing. A hotel housekeeper was asleep in his bed, not pretending, not stealing, just exhausted. When her terrified eyes flew open and she realized whose room she was in, she thought her life was over. But what happened next would spark a war of class, pride, and a love no one, especially his powerful mother, would ever accept. My name is Elena Cruz. I'm from Houston, Texas. Today, I'm sharing a story about dignity, class, pride, and a love that was never supposed to happen. I worked as a housekeeper at the Grand Meridian Hotel. Double shifts, no sleep, endless hallways. My little brother Mateo was in and out of the hospital with a heart condition, and every paycheck disappeared before I even held it. One afternoon, exhausted and running on caffeine and prayer, I turned a corner too fast with my cleaning cart. Crash! Dirty mop water splashed all over a man in a tailored white suit. Silence fell across the hallway. He looked expensive, calm, controlled, furious. Do you even understand what you've done? He asked coldly. I kept apologizing. My hands were shaking. That suit probably cost more than my yearly salary. That was the first time I met Adrian Cole, tech entrepreneur, media favorite, self-made billionaire. He walked away without another word. But fate wasn't finished. Later that night, I was assigned to clean Suite 1503, his suite. I didn't know that. I remember my legs aching, my vision blurring. I sat on the edge of the bed for just a second, just 1 second, and I fell asleep. When I woke up, someone was shaking my shoulder. What are you doing in my bed? A voice demanded. It was him. I thought I'd lose my job, maybe worse. But he just stared at me, really stared, like he was trying to understand something. Get out, he finally said, and I ran. The next morning, I was called back to his suite. My supervisor looked confused. He requested you by name. My heart pounded the entire elevator ride. When I entered, Adrian didn't look angry. He looked curious. What's your name? He asked. Elena. Do you always work until you collapse? I don't have a choice. He handed me an envelope. Inside was more money than I made in a month. I can't accept this, I said. It's just a tip. But it didn't feel like just a tip. It felt like the beginning of something dangerous. Days passed. He kept requesting tea service. Sometimes we talked. Sometimes we just sat in silence. He asked me what I wanted to be. A nurse. I told him. I wanted to help people. What stopped you? Life. He didn't laugh. He didn't judge. He listened. No one had ever done that before. One evening, he asked to see where I lived. I almost said no, but something in his voice felt real. When we arrived at my neighborhood, the streetlights flickered. Paint peeled from the buildings. Kids played barefoot in the street. He didn't flinch. He stepped inside our tiny apartment without hesitation. He saw Mateo's medicine bottles, the cracked walls, the bucket catching rainwater from the ceiling. He didn't say, I'm sorry. He said, thank you for trusting me. That was the first time I saw the man behind the headlines. 3 weeks passed. We never touched. We never said love, but something grew in the quiet until the storm arrived. She entered the hotel lobby like royalty. Adrian's mother, elegant, powerful, untouchable. She didn't yell. She didn't need to. She invited me for tea in a private suite. The room smelled like expensive perfume and quiet threats. I hear you've made quite an impression on my son, she said smoothly. I stayed silent. This ends now, she continued. You are not his equal. The words were soft, but they cut deep. She slid an envelope across the table. Take this. Start over somewhere else. More money than I had ever seen. Enough to fix everything. Enough to disappear. For a moment, I almost reached for it. Then I remembered Mateo. I remembered my mother's words before she passed. Never trade your dignity for comfort. I stood up. I came here to work, I said quietly. Not to be bought. I left the envelope untouched, but something inside me broke. The next morning, I avoided Suite 1503, but Adrian found me in the service hallway. She spoke to you, didn't she? He asked. I didn't answer. His jaw tightened. You think I care about status? He said. You think I don't see what she's trying to do? Your world isn't mine, I replied softly, and I won't be your rebellion. He stepped closer. You're not beneath me, Elena, and you're not a charity case. You're the strongest person I know. For the first time, his voice wasn't controlled. It was honest. Weeks later, Adrian postponed his Dubai deal. Investors were shocked, but he told them something simple. I'm building technology to improve lives. That starts with understanding them. He funded a healthcare program in my neighborhood, not for me, for the community, and I enrolled in nursing school, not because he paid for it, because I finally believed I deserved it. Adrian and I, we didn't rush into a fairy tale. We built something slow, equal, respectful, real. True wealth is not money, status, or power. It is humility, respect, and the courage to stand for your dignity, even when walking away seems easier. Never let anyone make you feel small because of where you started. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to Moralist channel for more powerful real-life inspired stories about strength, love, and self-respect. Because sometimes, the most important battles are the ones we fight quietly. See you in the next story.